The world is changing to fulfill the needs of the new generation. Educational Publishing House proudly introduces Lighthouse for Hong Kong.
And one of the aims of the Lighthouse series is to develop students' critical thinking skills alongside the development of English communication. And one of the reasons we are putting so much importance on critical thinking is because students need to use English in a confident way to talk about many different subjects and also to express their own opinions. When we look at the reading texts and the listening texts, we find that the topics chosen are actually quite engaging and interesting. They often are not just information texts, they're texts which expose a problem of some kind, where there are different solutions, different ways of dealing with the outcomes. So the questions that the students are asked to answer are usually not particularly simple. There may be different ways of approaching this. Another part of academic development is independent thinking, in being able to find information by yourself. And this is why the Lighthouse series encourages the students to go and find information by themselves. For example, through consulting a dictionary or looking up reference works. It's quite important that the students don't rely all the time on their teacher for answers, and that teachers can then say to students, why don't you just go and find the information by yourself? But where do the students go? They do need the teacher to help them in a systematic way, looking at the different sources of information. The obvious one nowadays is the internet, because that's what people use quickly, but the students need to learn to use it in a strategic, helpful way. The more traditional academic way is to look at reference books, such as dictionaries, which students need to understand the layout of, they need to know where the information is located. So quite a lot of activities encourage the students to go and find information by themselves. One of the most exciting developments in English language in the last 20 years has been the way English has changed in its position in the world. We now talk about world Englishes and global English. So the sort of English the students used to learn in Hong Kong was for communication within Hong Kong. Now we know that we're trying to predict the future. Our students are going to be using English with people from all parts of the world. So the Lighthouse series has introduced a new theme which is called Light on the World. And in the various units, the students learn something about another part of the world where English is used. And this is getting away from the very old view that the ownership of English rests with the British or with the Americans, and that the language is now everybody's language. We now have more non-native speakers using English than native speakers. The language will continue to fragment and it will continue to change. So our students are encouraged to take an interest in what is happening in the bigger English-speaking world.
Lighthouse. Simply better.